What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And finally we have rosters and draft classes, and now we can finally do some realistic rebuilds. So the Clippers just fired Doc Rivers, and the Clippers future is scary as hell, man. Like, let's get this straight. One thing straight: if the Clippers lose Kawhi, they are screwed. They have nothing going for them. So in today's realistic rebuild, we're going to try everything we can to keep Kawhi Leonard around. That way we don't have to face that problem. But first, we all know the Clippers fired Doc Rivers, and now they're gonna be looking for a new coach. So we'll do that first. But before we get the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into this realistic rebuild. NBA 2K21, unfortunately, haven't been able to do any realistic rebuilds because we never had draft classes or like correct rosters. Now this roster I downloaded was the best I could find. I'm not saying it's correct, but I think it's the best I could find. So regardless though, the Clippers, so like I saw somebody out there that I think makes the most sense for this job. And obviously, I don't know if it would happen in real life, and it may not even be realistic that Greg Popovich would leave the Spurs. But if you're talking about a guy to bring in for 1 year to convince Kawhi to stay, maybe Greg Popovich could be that guy. You do have to overpay for Pop, I'm pretty sure, in order to bring him in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we get everybody. So we got Greg Popovich. We also got a trainer. So Greg Popovich is the new coach of the Los Angeles Clippers. Would that happen in real life? No, but he is at least a real coach. Actually, I guess anything is possible, but he is a real coach in 2K, which I'm definitely excited to have him. And now let's keep going. So got our coach situation figured out now that Doc Rivers is gone. We got the best guy for the job. Kawhi also obviously used to be coached by Greg Popovich. So Paul George, man, gotta step it up this year, or you're gonna have to go, man, because I just can't do this anymore. Like, you're absolutely trash. So yeah, as you can tell, both Paul George and Kawhi have their player options. So like, yeah, these rosters are correct, I think, for the most part. So like, free agency isn't gonna look insane with Kawhi, Paul George, and Giannis. So definitely really excited about that. We don't even have a first round pick though, so I'm just gonna go straight to player options. Qualifying offers: Amir Coffey and Jonathan Motley are both free agents, and then moratorium day. Montrezl Harrell's a free agent. I fully expect Montrezl Harrell to go somewhere else, especially with all the talks about some of the players in the locker room are like rolling their eyes at the thought of, like, you know, Paul George kind of giving him a speech, even though Paul George performed terribly in the playoffs. So yeah, I kind of want to do a sign and trade with Montrezl Harrell. That way we can get something in return for him leaving us. So I think that's kind of what I want to do first. I don't think we can sign anybody insane. So yeah, we could sign Marcus Morris Sr. back as well, which is actually something I might want to do. So I'm going to offer Montrezl Harrell Morris some contracts, and I'm going to try to do a sign and trade with Montrezl Harrell probably. Montrezl Harrell making his way to the Toronto Raptors. And just so I don't lose Montrezl Harrell for nothing, I'm going to go ahead and send him to Toronto. I will be getting Norman Powell and Terrence Davis in return, which is fine and all. But is there any way I could turn this into like a Kyle Lowry kind of trade? I don't even know if that's something that would even happen, but like, it would be interesting for sure if we could maybe snag Kyle Lowry to bring him in for 1 year, because we kind of need to go for it all. We really need to convince Kawhi to stay here. So like, I'm just kind of thinking out of the box. We threw like Montrezl Harrell, this guy, and some other players. Like, would they be down to give me Kyle Lowry? I don't know. I don't know if the Raptors would be willing to part ways with Kyle Lowry at this point. Like, yeah, that's just something that's not gonna happen. So yeah, I mean, Kyle Lowry would be a nice pickup, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So instead, I guess we'll go ahead and just do this trade. The Raptors get Montrezl Harrell, we get Norman Powell, and also Terrence Davis. And now we should be able to still make a trade. I also signed Morris and his brother Markieff Morris, because I was like, why not? Let's just bring both the Morris twins in. I still don't love our center spot. I feel like we could still make a move maybe to increase our center. Lou Williams, I think, is definitely somebody we could use in a trade. We could keep Patrick Beverley here as well. Like, the center and point guard definitely need some help. So that's kind of what I'm gonna look for next. So the power forward can be fine. Kawhi, Paul George is fine. We have way too many shooting guards, and then Beverly is fine and all, but I need a point guard or a center. Like, Zubac can start, I guess. It's not that big of a deal, but yeah, we really need to find a point guard or a center, which is what I'll be looking for next. Snag Eric Bledsoe from the Milwaukee Bucks. The way I see this is, I don't know if the Clippers are going to trade Lou Williams or not, but if they were to trade him, like, a guy like Eric Bledsoe makes sense, because I don't feel like Eric Bledsoe is somebody the Bucks value like a whole lot. And at least the Clippers are getting a point guard that could potentially be good for you. Like, I'm just going to do that trade, and I'm not going to look back. So we have a point guard now in Eric Bledsoe, which I'm pretty happy about. Paul George, Norman Powell, Terrence Davis, still fine. We could probably move one of these guys to the small forward, and we'd be fine, like just having them play some three, like Terrence Davis. So let's move him to the three for now. So yeah, I think we're gonna roll with this team. I mean, it's not the best, but we did pick up Eric Bledsoe. Like I said, it kind of just shows you that the Clippers, like, what I'm kind of trying to do here is I'm trying to show Kawhi that I'm trying to make moves to improve this team. Like, I definitely want to make this Clippers team even better. I don't want to just run it back with the same roster because obviously it didn't work out. I fully expect the Clippers to lose Montrezl Harrell. I just don't see a world where he comes back. And then Paul George, you just gotta hope he's better. Like, there's no excuse. You gotta be better. Bledsoe, I know, hasn't performed well in the playoffs before, but hey, he's a point guard that, you know, kind of used to be an all-star caliber kind of guy back when he was in Phoenix. You kind of hope maybe he could bring that back in the right system. Who knows? Let's go ahead and see though, guys, if we can come back into season number 2, or I guess this is season 1 of the video, and let's see if we can go win a championship and convince Kawhi Leonard to stay. This will be a rotation for season number 1. Eric Bledsoe, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Ivica Zubac, Patrick Beverley, Norman Powell, and Terrence Davis, and Markieff Morris. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm not upset with this roster whatsoever. Our proficiency is 4 at defense. I think I'll leave it there just because, you know, Bledsoe fits it nicely. Marcus Morris is not a bad defender, even though he's a terrible fit for some reason, which is okay. I guess if I need to change it to a balanced, I definitely can. Which I probably will, just because that's going to make Marcus Morris fit the system a little bit better. But let's go ahead and simulate this first season, and like I said, let's see if we can be a championship team. I was your most valuable player for the Milwaukee Bucks. LaMelo is your rookie of the year on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's so refreshing to see LaMelo back in the game. I'm not gonna lie. Bobo is your 6th man of the year. Defensive player also goes to Giannis. Boban most improved, and Brad Stevens coach of the year. So not the season I expected. We only went 51-31, which is somewhat unfortunate. But player stats, we had 30 from Kawhi. That you love to see that. Paul George, pretty solid season, 24 points. You like to see that as well. Did his thing. Marcus Morris with 13, Bledsoe with only 12 points. Definitely a little disappointing there. But it's not like I expected Bledsoe to go out there and score 20, so I guess I shouldn't be too shocked. But regardless, we are playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. So Paul George's former team, Chris Paul's former team in the Clippers. This Thunder team looks relatively the same. They haven't changed a whole lot, so hopefully we can go ahead and steamroll through them through the playoffs, or Kawhi's gonna leave us. Like, realistically, if the Clippers lost in the first round, I feel like Kawhi's like, yeah, I'm out of here. But now we're playing Luka Doncic to the Mavericks, which is definitely gonna be a tougher matchup. We got Jalen Brunson, Luka, Sadiq Bey, Bailey, Kristaps, Tim Hardaway, Seth Curry, Willie Cauley-Stein. Definitely a little bit scareder about this matchup than I am against the Thunder, as we jump up 1-0. That's a good start to the series. So, can we jump up 2-0? Yes, we can. I always fear Luka in this game, though. So, 2-1. Hopefully, we don't let them tie the series up. And yes, we're up 3-1. That's fantastic. And let's not blow a 3-1 lead. Let's not blow a 3-1 lead. Let's not do it. And yes, we're in the Western Conference Finals. That's great. So, now we're playing the Denver Nuggets. So, it's time to get revenge. On the Nuggets, we have Murray, Harris, Porter, Precious, and Jokic. They kept Bol. Very good Nuggets team still. We are the higher seed, so we will have home court advantage. We won game 1. That's a good start. Game 2 goes to us as well. Game 3 goes to us. And game 4, okay. 3-1. We beat them 5. So we're in the NBA Finals playing the Brooklyn Nets. So now you have a situation where you got Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. This would actually be a really fun playoffs to watch. Paul George and Kawhi. Assuming you get the MVP kind of Paul George, you know what I mean? Not the terrible playoff P Paul George, but Kawhi and KD versus Paul George and Kawhi. I think it would be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat them. They're up 1-0. We even it up. Okay, that's great. 2-1 for them. Let's go to Simcast, because I'm already kind of nervous for this series. I feel like if we don't tie it up, we're definitely losing here. We cannot go down 3-1 to Kevin Durant, I feel like. So looks like we were gonna win that game, but we let them come back at the very end. 32-8-3, 23-6-5. This is not a good look. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is like a championship or bust season for us. Like, obviously, I feel like that's what the Clippers season was. Anyway, this season, and it's not over yet. We do win by 30 in that final game. Okay, Paul George, 42 points. You love to see it. And now it is a 2-3 series. Can we force a game 7 here? Are we going home? And just wondering what the future is going to be like. It's close, and we lose by 7. So yeah, we lost championship to the Brooklyn Nets. So now you're wondering, like, okay, the Clippers lose in the playoffs. What's about to happen to this team? Like, is Paul George and Kawhi going to resign, or are they going to leave? Like, there's a lot of questions to ask here. Good thing this is just a video game and this is not real life, so I get to kind of control what's going to happen for the most part anyway. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I might get a little creative and let both of them walk. Might resign one, might resign both. We'll see. Both declined their player options, which isn't surprising. Going into free agency, obviously the goal is to bring them both back. I feel like that's something we definitely need to be looking to do. Yeah, I definitely want Kawhi and Paul George back if possible, especially Kawhi. Like, you can live with losing Paul George if you're the Clippers, but losing Kawhi would definitely be just a disaster, bro. Like, I mean, also losing Paul George for nothing would suck too, just because you kind of traded your whole future for him. But essentially, you kind of did that to have Kawhi and Paul George in town. So I'm going to resign both of them. No hesitation. I feel like that's the best move for this organization. Or they're just kind of dumb looking. Or, yeah, looking stupid if they don't. So I'm going to sign Norman Powell back as well. Terrence Davis, I think I'm going to resign as well to a 2-year deal. So we were so close to winning the championship. I feel like we definitely are going to make some moves here. We do have some salary we could throw in. Like Marcus Morris is still making a lot. Beverly is still making a decent chunk. So I think we could maybe upgrade this team. Even we just obviously resigned Norman Powell and Davis to decent deals as well. So I think we do have options to maybe make some trade this offseason. I'm not sure where that's going to be. I'm kind of looking for a power forward more than anything. I was kind of looking at like maybe Blake Griffin, bring him back. There's also Pascal Siakam in the Raptors. If the Raptors ever decide, you know what, we don't want to have Siakam anymore. But then you think like, wait, the Clippers don't really have assets to do a crazy trade like that. So I might have to kind of scrape at the bottom of the barrel, but I think I'll find a power forward or something we could get. Speaking of scraping at the bottom of the barrel, I instantly thought of Kevin Love. Also thought of Al Horford, but I think Kevin Love's probably gonna be the better option here. He's younger, and yeah, I feel like Kevin Love is, I mean, Cleveland, it's kind of overdue that he needs to get out of Cleveland anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make this work for Kevin Love. So I'm gonna offer Patrick Beverly 1000%. We really don't need Beverly anymore, and he's a 1-year deal for the Cavs anyway. And I don't really know what else I could offer here. Like maybe a 22-year-old Terrence Davis would entice them. Just take this for Kevin Love. No, you're not wanting to accept that. I also have like some Terrence Mann action down here. Hopefully I don't have to give up too much. I don't feel like Kevin Love should be that valuable. I'll throw in some seconds. Okay, so we got Kevin Love for that much. Okay, so I feel like I gave up more than I should have, but hey, we have Kevin Love now. That's an upgrade to the power forward spot. So we're making the team better at the end of the day. So now we have Bledsoe, Paul George, Norman Powell, Kawhi Leonard, Markieff Morris, Marcus Morris. Like, yeah, we have the Morris twins still. Zubac is still our center. Definitely still would love to make that better, but you could always go to a small ball lineup and have Kevin Love play the 5. Obviously, defensively, it won't be great, but hey, he could definitely play the 5. He's done it before. So other than that, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might move, yeah, actually, we're going to do that. I might move one of the Morris twins to, yeah, we're doing that. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to sign maybe a backup point guard if we, I mean, we don't really technically need one, but I'm going to sign a backup point guard in Patty Mills anyway. And boom, guys, we have our roster for season number 2. Let's go lock in. We got Kevin Love here now. Kawhi and Paul George are back. So yeah, we've definitely committed to try to make this roster even better. And I cannot wait to see what happens in this next season. Bledsoe, Paul George, Kawhi. You got Kevin Love here now. Avika Zubac, Marcus Morris off the bench, Norman Powell, Patty Mills, and Markieff Morris. So yeah, very nice. Still 4-star balance system, and Kevin Love plugged in here as well makes it a balance system as well. And yeah, I'm ready to simulate this season, see how it goes, and hopefully this time around we're the champions at the end of the season. A little funky, as Giannis Antetokounmpo is your MVP, but this time in San Antonio. So he's like your 4-time MVP now. But this guy wins Rookie of the Year. Ricky Rubio is your 6th man of the year on the Raptors. Giannis, all defensive player. John Moran, most improved, and Brad Stevens, your coach of the year. So we had a lot better of a record, won 6 more games, went 57-25, which is absolutely amazing. And we do have Kawhi on the All-NBA first, second team, I should say. No Paul George, but that's totally fine. And all defensive first team, we do have, nope, we do have Kawhi and Paul George making the all defensive second team. That's amazing. And we're the first in the West. So we are back on top. It is time to get back to the NBA Finals and see if we can win it this time. So 28 from Kawhi, 22 from Paul George, 13 from Kevin Love, 13 from Marcus Morris, and 12 from Eric Bledsoe, 11 for Norman Powell. Yeah, so this, I feel like this roster top to bottom is a lot better than it was last season. So yeah, we have a good chance, I feel like. So now we're playing the Dallas Mavericks, who we did beat pretty easily last year, surprisingly. And I feel like our roster only got better, and we beat them in 7. Okay, so that was actually closer than I thought it was going to be. We got the Battle of New York, and now we're playing the Memphis Grizzlies, who have Ja, D'Anthony Melton, Winslow, Jackson, Gobert, Whiteside, and Jonas Valanciunas. Okay, you got enough centers, man, because I could definitely use one of those centers. My center is Ivica Zubac. Like, come on, slap me one of those centers. And I accidentally clicked play game. The tie series as we're up 2-1. Great things. It's a tie series now. Again, all right, so can we go up 3-2? I really don't feel like losing here in the conference finals. Like, we kind of just went all for it, and we may not get rewarded for it. So we're down 3-2 to the Memphis Grizzlies. So that is not good at all. Here we go, man. Let's force this 7 and bring this back to Los Angeles. Come on, man. Let's not do this to me, 2K. All right, good. All right, man. Here we go. Game 7 in LA. This is definitely going to be for all the marbles. This is Kawhi, Paul George's legacy on the line, and it is just not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It's not looking good at all. Okay, we are making a little bit of a comeback. 111 to 110. I love to see the comeback. 113 to 116. 115 to 122. Yes, we do come back. 121 to 126 to make it back to the NBA Finals. And we don't have to deal with the Knicks or the Nets this time, as the Knicks sweep the Nets. What do the Knicks have that they're out here sweeping the Brooklyn Nets? Well, in 3, 2, 1, we're gonna find out. They have RJ, Cassius Stanley, Kuminga, Anthony Davis, Mitchell Robinson. So Anthony Davis in New York just absolutely clobbered Kawhi, or I should say Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Very nice. But I don't feel like you're doing that to us, Anthony Davis. I feel like this is going to be end of the road for you. And as I say that, we're down 1-0. We even it up. That's good. Can we go up 2-1? Yes, we can. And 2-2. Can we go up 3-2? Nope, 3-2 for them. All right, man. Definitely scary situation here. Let's go, baby. Let's freaking go. And yes, okay, 115 to 93. Game 7 for all the marbles. This is for the championship in Los Angeles. We can finally win a trophy in the Staples Center, and the Knicks are no match as we blow them out. Kawhi 36, 8, and 6 as we go on to win the championship over the New York Knicks. I love the roster I put together. I try to be as realistic as possible. I know some of the moves probably weren't the most realistic thing, but just remember it is 2K. But hey guys, make sure you enjoy the video, or make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Guys, man, if you really think about it, if Kawhi decides to leave next season, the Clippers are about to be the Brooklyn Nets for the next 5 years, bro. Like, or even for the foreseeable future. I don't know how far along they traded those first round picks at the top of my head, but man, it is scary territory for the Los Angeles Clippers. They went all out. They struck out this first season. They have one more. They're like, there's two outs, and this is the last inning, and they need to make something happen. Other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Crushables, I'm saying peace.